Jus Riffin. Tuesday afternoon at 2 p.m. That's EST. Jus Riffin. Special guest and tech and talk. A musicology. Jus Riffin. Coming to you live at the same time. Here every week. Jus Riffin. Jump in the room. Let's chop it up. It really ain't that deep. Jus Riffin.
What's up, everybody? We are back after a two-week hiatus. Unfortunately, Cookie J6 pulled his hamstring making oatmeal. So we had to take a break because he just couldn't. Yeah, he was couldn't. It was just too painful. But the oatmeal cookie fixed the pain, right? Is that right?
Yeah. I fixed it. I got what is it? My something. My left pinky toe.
Yeah.
I had surgery on it, and it was
crazy.
They used robotics. They used Neuralink actually on my pinky toe. Like, I never knew this, but you somehow, like, the brain, you have a small brain. Do you know this? This is true.
Yeah.
Everybody has a small brain in their pinky toe. And I used the advanced technologies of Neuralink to expand my pinky toe so where it could handle oatmeal cooking at much greater stress than it could normally.
Yeah, I got to be honest with you. I'm not quite sure if you're coming through. I don't know if you're coming through the Twitter.
It's okay. I just say stupid shit anyway.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I don't think you're coming through Twitter. I'm going to end the Twitter Spaces just because. Going to end it.
Also, I want to mention, Hef, I feel stupid, but you are echoing right now.
Okay, I just ended Spaces, so it shouldn't be echoing.
Oh, you're not echoing now. Great. Perfect.
Okay. So I just ended Spaces. We try to do Spaces for some reason. I don't know what's going on. I have the new iPhone, and it's just this week is echoing. So we apologize about that. But this is Jus Riffin. We do it every Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, powered by Rug Radio. I am one of your hosts, Hefner. I got Cookie Rabinowitz, aka J6C6, aka your mom's favorite musician. We're just goofing over here.
Actually, there was an article on how my music is great for vacuuming the floor too.
That's what I'm talking about, dude. If you were relevant in the 80s, you probably could have been on the soundtrack for Mr. Mom.
Yo, I was relevant in the 80s, but just in a different kind of way. I was relevant to the guy on the corner with, never mind. Oh,
yeah, you were relevant in Kensington. All right, look that up, everybody. If you don't know what it is, I'm goofing over here. Listen, I'm always on YouTube, watching things, and I came across this cool little like documentary that somebody did, like on their own, right? And it was about it was with the whole thing with the RIAA. If people don't know, please look that up. That is who registers the music, calculates the music, and gives you plaques, like a gold plaque, a platinum plaque, yada yada. So therefore, the rights of the artist, right? And there was a time in the 80s when people were downloading. It was like peer-to-peer, like a Napster, like same thing. I think it really started with Napster, and how the music industry had started to change at that time because you
froze. Fuck. Did I freeze or did Hef freeze? You're froze. Are we there? It says we got 7 people in here. I don't know if you guys see Hef or if he's not moving. My internet. Oh, shit. Oh, damn. Okay, so Hef's electric went out. If I'm still here and you guys are still here, I'll play a little tune. Where we at? Do I got a guitar here somewhere? There's a guitar. There we go. I got a guitar here. How about I play you guys a little tune? Is Hef back? Yeah, I know. Can you guys see me? I'll play a little tune for you. Do you want a tune? Do you guys want to hear a tune? I don't know. Ooh. That's kind of in tune. You can. It's good till ain't. Oh, Hef's here. Hold on. Hello, this is a great show. What's happening, Hef? I'm still in here. Yeah, I'm still in here. Technical difficulty. Hef's internet went out, but he's logging back on now. We'll be back momentarily. I was just about to play him a little tune, Hef. You interrupted our flow. Okay, let's see. Can you hear this? You can, and it's good till it ain't. The honeymoon's on and it's off, and you turn and you cough and you do it again. Baby, that ain't so. Baby, that ain't so. Baby, that ain't so. Baby, that ain't so. You're here and it's gone. You're stealing your pawn. Better learn a new trick, because your rabbit is sick and a bang and a gun. Baby, that ain't so. Baby, that ain't so. Baby, that ain't so. Just a hook. Baby, that ain't so. I'll just crack a smile and walk away. 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 Okay, that's all I got. Sorry, that was bad. I didn't drink 2 cups of coffee. That was just 1 cup of coffee. Sorry. Okay, we're back. The show's
all right. We're back. I the electricity went out here in the house. It was like a quick little flicker. I saw the lights dim and everything was weird. But you could hear me, right? So we're good.
Yep, I can hear you perfect now.
Okay, Delicia Max City. I was echoing. That probably was from way before. And all right, so we're back. Thank you everybody for being here and hanging out with us through the technical difficulties and whatnot. And Cookie, I like it. Yeah. So I was. Let me get back to what I was talking about, which is the RIAA and this little doc I saw on YouTube. So, they were, they didn't know what to do because it was so new for everything. And, you had some people that were all for it and saying that music should be available to everybody. And then you had, Gene Simmons, I'll just use him as an example because he was really vocal about it, saying it's going to ruin the music industry and, the artist should be getting paid for the music that's being, downloaded or whatever, so people can have it on their computer. So, yeah, this kind of, went into, the RIAA started, issuing lawsuits and shutting, like Napster got shut down. And then after Napster, there were like a few other companies that were, instead of like, see, the thing where Napster went wrong is they had the music on their servers. And that's where the whole sharing thing was it was just too new for anything. And they didn't have their butts covered. So that's pretty much why Napster really got shut down. And then after Napster got shut down, all these other companies pretty much opened up the door for all these other businesses to start. And instead of them having the music on their server, you would have it on yours. Cookie would have it on his. I would have it on mine. And we would just log into this place and it would be peer-to-peer sharing. really what it was. And then so they couldn't go after the companies that were hosting the sites. So what they had to do then was go after individuals. And there were a couple individuals that basically what was going on is the RIAA would settle out with some of these people. Like they scared them, and the people didn't want to go to court and all that stuff. So they paid, like, settled out for like anywhere, $2,000 to $4,000, just so that way they can be done with it. These are people that were actually downloading the music from the internet, right? From these peer-to-peer things, right? These peer-to-peer platforms. So there was two people, a man and a woman. They really both fought it. They went to court to fight this thing, right? Because they felt like they weren't in the wrong here, and they were found guilty. They lost on every attempt that they did. So what was going on is the jury would be able to tell, say how much per song they owed, which was $750 to, I think, $20,000 per song, right? Something like this. And so the first lady got hit with like $220,000, $250,000 fine that she had to pay to the RIAA after losing her case. The second dude that fought, he was close to $1 million that he had to pay, that he owed, because he lost the case. So what happened is they kept, by law, they just kept, what is that when you lose and you can appeal? So they kept appealing the case over and over and over again till it got to the Supreme Court, to where it can't go any further. And they actually upped the amount of money for, like, from that $750 to $20,000 per song. The new stuff that was happening is they got hit with more money now, because they kept appealing and losing. So they awarded the RIAA a larger sum from each of those individuals. But the thing with it is that they easily just could go bankrupt. And that's exactly what they did. They went bankrupt, and they didn't, well, the guy went bankrupt. They didn't have anything, any history on the woman going bankrupt. But once that happened, they couldn't get their money, the RIAA. That's it. It's said and done. Once you go bankrupt, that's it. You can just go bankrupt, and then, you don't owe anything anymore to that point. So that's pretty much what this documentary I saw, which was really just fascinating. And we even went into the whole, like, the VHS controversy, where you can hook the VHS to the TV and you can record your programs by this was like pre direct TV, where you can program the recording of the show and then watch it later. You were able to do this back in the day with a VHS tape. You would just set the timer on that VHS and it would record the show for you if you weren't home. And this is before cable. And I mean, like, really in the early days of that technology. So the whole thing with the music is, and then it got to MP3s, and then they tried to sue them for, remember the DAT player, the DAT, digital audio tape, they put a kibosh on that because they were trying to say that you can't use it to record music that you didn't own. You had to have the original master in order to make copies to the DAT. It had to be your original master. So that is basically, that's what we used on stage, because we didn't use CDs, and we didn't have if we didn't have a drum machine, we would put the instrumentals on the DAT player and just play the instrumentals, the show from the DAT. So we didn't, that didn't last long. The DAT player, it was really just another stepping stone in technology to where we are today, which is streaming, right? So I say, one way or the other, like, the record labels were screwing the artists. The RIAA is trying to screw the people from listening to the music or getting the music, or even if the people own the CD or they own the music, now they wanted it digitally and they couldn't get it from their CD or elsewhere to their computer or to a mechanism. That's when the MP3s came, and that's that whole upliftment there. But it got everything to streaming now, because no one's really downloading music anymore. And if they are, it's okay. Like it's totally fine. They're not coming after you. They're not going to sue you for money. They're not coming after you. They just know that they can't win the fight anymore. It's over with, you know? So, but now there's these streaming services. And so it brought to my attention, like, what's next? Because we went through these evolutions of audio and, you know, people wanting to stream, or people, I'm sorry, not wanting to stream. I guess it is streaming. If you're listening to music, an MP3 on your computer, you're still streaming the music. It's considered streaming, maybe not from a platform, but it's, I guess your computer's a platform. So just disregard my mumbo jumbo and me rumbling here. But I want to get your opinion as to what you think, Cookie, that what is next, because I know you're building an app. I know you've been building this app for a long time, so you have that's your perspective on what the music should be in the industry and what should be for musicians. So I'm curious to know what you think, because all of that stuff that the music industry itself went through, and now here we are, and musicians are still getting screwed, mainly from the record labels and from streaming platforms, right? Somewhat. But so what's your perspective?
My perspective is, first off, I'm not building the app. The app is built, so I'm super excited. Second off, I don't believe musicians are getting screwed. I think business people are not making proper business decisions. Now, I'm a terrible business person, so I'm not throwing shade on anybody right now. I'm a fucking idiot. I play guitar and I write songs. But with that said, I think music has always changes formats, and technology, everything does with technology. So if an artist signs a deal that they're not happy with, and then they complain about the deal they signed, is that them getting screwed, or is that them screwing themselves? I think streaming platforms are a business model, and if artists don't read the fine lines and read everything in there, and they take a deal that they don't believe in, or let's say they sign with a label, and that label has a deal with a streaming platform or a music sync licensing place or whatever, and then the artist doesn't get paid what they feel is fair. Well, didn't they sign the deal that was them getting paid what they would from every this? So I just want to make a disclaimer. I give zero fucks about the music industry. I make music, and I want to connect with people. So Napster, people, all that shit. If people are getting music that way, that's great. I think there's lots of different creative ways to monetize yourself. I don't believe in scarcity. I think, well, no, I don't want to say that. I think scarcity is cool, and I think exclusive stuff is cool, but not to put baby locks on the music, because the music isn't what's special. AI can shit out a tune in 5 seconds. That's a song. Whether we like it or not, it could crank out a whole album in 5 seconds. Music is not special. The people, the humans that create it are special. And I just think if you're an artist and you're thinking that people are screwing you for the way that they're running their business, I think that's a fail. I just think you need to do what's good for you as an artist, And so I don't think that any of this is a problem. That's just my basic take on it.
Yeah, you're right in that sense that it is the deal, that you create. But a lot of times, it's pretty much a catch-22 for the artist, because they're damned if they do and they're damned if they don't. If they don't, they don't get the shine, they don't get the publicity, they don't get the push from a major label, because they have the upper hand on the music industry. And then they're damned when they do, because they're getting 50 cents, if they're lucky, for a whole album that the record label was collecting, $20 on, $10 on, $15 on. Yeah. So that's where I feel like the artist does get screwed. But in that sense, yeah, you're right. They do know what their deal is. They're okay with that deal at that time. But I feel like they get screwed. Maybe not, you understand, maybe you understand what I'm saying. Like,
I do. I want to interject. And I do have a disclaimer with that. Like, before any of this digital stuff was around, a lot of the legacy artists, they signed deals and nobody knew that there was going to be all this technology. So these artists really got screwed, so to speak, because they had no idea that technology would evolve into such a manner to where things could be distributed so easily. So that's really what it is. It's the ease of distribution now. Like when you get a distribution deal, what does that even mean? You know, a 3-year-old can upload a song and make it instantly available to the world with literally very little technical knowledge these days. So I believe that the legacy artists, they got hurt the most, but then again, they benefited the most because they were also around when shit came out as vinyl, then cassettes, 8-tracks, CDs. So they were around for that too. So they got to cash in on that boom too with all the different formats. But then the deals didn't translate over to the digital realm. And we all know that, you know, the major streaming platforms are partnered up with the labels. So the labels kind of control that. So, but I still don't think of it as an artist getting screwed. Because to me, an artist who gets screwed.
Yeah, I want to interject. When I say that, what I mean is overall, like just in a general sense, right? That that's like me buying something from you and you wanting $100 for it, and me telling you, "Come on, I'm your friend. I'll give you $5." That's how I look at that kind of deal, where I feel like the artist is doing the music, the artist should get their fair share from the record labels. Now, again, you're right. It's business. It's in their deal. It's in their whatever. That's up to those particular artists to negotiate. I believe that the bigger the artist is, the better the deal that they're going to get, because the label needs them too, right? And at some point, somebody like Taylor Swift, because she's such a big name, or Beyonce, or anybody that's a huge artist, even Shakira, you name it, they can probably more likely do it on their own. They probably won't, because it's a lot of work that has to go into that, and that's a business in itself. But I'm sure that their deals are different than the average artist that's signing to a record label, right? To get a record deal. Sure. So that's why I say you're damned if you damned if you don't. There's a few things you got to know. You and you know this already, but just people that are maybe listening that don't know, is important to own your publishing, because these legendary artists that Cookie's talking of, a lot of those people sold their publishing. A lot of people didn't know what it was to own the publishing, right? So they gave up the rights to it or whatever, or that maybe that was in their deal, that, you know, the record label, once they sign, the record label owns the material. So now in this digital age, the record label that did all that is making the money, and the artist now is not, those legendary artists. So yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things. That's why I wanted to know what you thought, where the music itself is going. You know, like after streaming, is there something that you think is coming for streaming? Like, what's next? If all these,
I just interject. First off, I think it's all business too. I want to say real quick on that I don't think it's necessarily a bad idea for depending on the use case. Like if an artist wants to sell their publishing, if you're an artist and you're making shit all the time, like, you know, it's like you might have, it might be, and you're thinking in a business mind, you might have a song, you might have 100 songs, and this one song, somebody wants to cover or somebody wants to use it for something, but the deal is they want the publishing. Now, you know, there's a great story with Dolly Parton. Elvis wanted to do a Dolly Parton song. I think it was, I forget what song it was, I'm sorry. But Elvis wanted to cover it, but he wanted to buy the song off of Dolly. It was, I think, it was I Will Always Love You, you know, the Mariah Carey song. I'm not the Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston did it, right? So, but Dolly didn't want to sell it. She's like, no, you can't have it. You can cover it, but I'm not going to sell it to you. So she's a smart businesswoman. That was her deal. But now let's say it was a younger artist at the time that really was uncertain and shaky in their sustainability in life. They might have been like, I got 1,000 songs. They're going to give me, you know, whatever, a couple $100K for this song. Sure, I'll give it to them. Now, the long play might have been that they would have lost money, but the short play might have been that it gives them, you know, funding to really create a sustainable career. So that might be a good deal in that case. So there is no black and white. And I also want to say that as far as the future of music and where this stuff is going, I don't think anybody can tell us, because technology is moving so fast that there's going to be so many changes. The app I just finished building could very well damn likely be obsolete a year from after I release it. And I'm cool with that. You know, let's just take it as it goes and we just keep moving forward. But I don't think the biggest thing is when I hear that artists, and I'm with the artist, I am an artist, so I'm not shitting on anybody. I respect everybody and what they do. But when I hear artists say and complain that they're not getting treated fairly, or that artists in general are getting screwed, I don't think you can look at it that way, because we all make our own decisions, and every decision each artist makes is their own individual choice. Just like, you know, I don't create music with AI. Well, like, there's a lot of artists that do right now, and I think that's cool because it's an individual decision. Like, an artist as an individual has to make their own decision based on their moral, ethical values and the integrity of what they do. And I don't think there's no shame in using AI to make music, and I don't think there's any shame for artists to work the system, whether it's using major DSPs or whether it's going and selling CDs out of the back of their trunk, if people are doing it anymore. Like, that's part of being an artist. Use your own creative intel and what your insights tell you to do. You know?
Okay. You have an album coming out. You're releasing a project. You signed a deal. And what's your process going to be? What are you going to do? Are you actually? Because I would, if you were, on the side of the road, or you pulled up to if you pulled up to where I go to school, DeBry University, and you were selling your music out of your trunk, I'm definitely buying from you, dude. I'm definitely buying from you. And all kidding aside, what's going to be your, how are you going to do it? What's, if you can give us some insight, if you've thought that far deep into your album release, like, how are you going to market this thing? How are you going to sell it?
Well, I recently changed just my whole mentality of how I think about music and my songs. I haven't changed it, but it's evolved over time. And I do have a lot of new music that I'm going to be sharing. As far as a strategy, my strategy is to touch people, to reach them with music. So by any means necessary, people that are interested in the music I make, I want to be able to get to them, and I want to be able to touch them. I hope that didn't sound too creepy.
Yeah, no, but how are you going to approach that? Like, do you have a team that's going to help you with Instagram? Are you using TikTok? Are you, what tactics, or, how are you going to go about getting it to the people? So that
I love social media. I think it's a great resource, to share stuff on. Now, my reach isn't that great. I have very small followings across all platforms. But guess what? It's like, if 10 people really like something that I shared, then I win, because I'm just trying to touch people. So let the people decide, and I don't, like, just like the market decides value in whatever, the market decides what shit's worth. So if we're looking at business, but as far as my music I make, I don't look at them as a market. I look at them as humans, and let them decide. Like, if I make something that really touches someone, I don't really think there's an algorithm in the world that's going to squelch that from reaching people. So I'm in it for the long haul. I'm making music every day. And as far as a strategy, my strategy with songs, I used to be a lot more what's the word? Neurotic about songs I release. I have a hard drive full of songs I've been recording over years, and I'd be like, oh no, I can't release that, release this, release that. And but I realized, to me, and this is just my own self, that songs aren't really what's important. Like, songs are special, but they're not important. And what's important is that I stay true to my spirit, which is creating music, and then to share that music with people. Every song is not going to land. Pick your favorite artist in the world. You don't love every single one of their songs, but you still love that artist. And that's what I'm looking for. As weird, I don't know if this sounds weird or hippie like, but I'm looking for love, man. I'm not looking I'm looking to touch the world. I'm looking to change the world. I'm looking to make people feel something. And they're not going to like everything I do, and that's okay. Do I want them to like it? Yes, I do. I mean, I'm not looking for validity. I'm looking for validation or whatever. I think music is here to enhance people's lives, and that's why I'm doing it. So I don't know. Did I answer any questions, or I'm just rambling like usual? But
Yeah. You doing your thing, man. No, it's good that, you know, because I definitely want to hear wanted to hear your perspective on how you're going to go about releasing the project. You know, I have a different approach. I think we all have a different approach as to similarity to, you know, people liking or hating your music, maybe liking a song and not liking another song. Um, with that being said, how do you, as an artist, as a musician, you know, what's your approach to picking the songs that you want on your album? Are you the type of artist that waits till you have 10 good songs, 15 good songs, whatever, and then you're like, okay, I'm gonna release this now? Or do you, you know, make 100 songs and then pick down, you know, to where you really feel like those are the strongest songs for this particular project?
I, my if I had a plan, I would say my current plan goes along with this new thing I was saying, just where I don't think songs are important. They're special.
So how do you go
So,
about choosing the right songs?
I'm looking at where I'm in a phase of my artistry right now where I think that my album is my life. So I have songs that I'm releasing, a decent amount of them, and I'm just releasing the songs, and they're just all part of an album, and that album is my life. My life is my album. I did release an album years ago, and that was in that format, but and then I released music after that as well, and I connected them as kind of like EP type of things. But
Okay.
I just look at it's one album right now. It's and it's just gonna run till I'm not on the planet anymore, till I'm somewhere else.
Is it already like have you already picked everything? Like all the songs are done?
I couldn't pick everything because I hope to be around a long time. So, the songs that I release 5 years from now are going to be on that album. The songs that I'm releasing a single on December 20th, and that's going to be, oh no, December 20th. And then that's part of the album. And then I'm releasing another song, I think, on January 1st. And that's part of the album. And then there might be in 30 years a song I release whenever, and that'll be
So
part
you're
of that
basically you're not releasing an album's worth of material. You're releasing material that will
It's
accumulate.
well, it is. I do look at it as an album because I look at
Like, will people
myself.
be able to physically buy a collection, this album? You know what I'm saying? Like when you go to the store and you buy an album, you go, okay, yeah, Ozzy Osbourne, you know, Shout at the Devil, or, you know, whatever, you know, Van Halen, Diver Down is an album. Fair Warning, an album. It's got 11 songs on it, 12 songs on it. It's an album. It's complete. There's a record cover. You take it out, you put it on your record. You can listen to the whole album right then and there. Then the following year they do another album, which is repeat, you know, rinse and repeat. So with this approach that you're taking, it seems like you're just doing singles after singles, releasing the music as you see fit as it goes. You know, is there gonna be a final destination for all of those songs in one place, like an album?
Well, if we look
That's
at
my
an
question.
album, I see an album as a label. A label is a package, and package something. And I think society gets in trouble sometimes with packages and labels. So once again, I'm just looking at myself as the album and what I make, and it's the stories. So if we were going to look at it as a package, so my album's probably going to have far more songs than any album's ever had on it because it's spanning the period of my entire life. So it'll probably be the largest album in history, the longest running album. So I mean, that's I guess the best way I could explain
Now,
it.
is it gonna be like a box set? You know how there's like 30 songs on box CD number one, and yeah, you know, that's like a whole collection of music. Like you could buy the Led Zeppelin collection or the Rush collection or whatever. You understand what I'm saying? Is it going to eventually be this where it's a whole thing?
Well, I think it's in the same lane. Like, you got packages, you got labels, and you got boxes. Boxes are great to like put your old shit in and put them in the attic. But I think as an artist, I'd like to stay outside of the box and just keep releasing stuff and keep making stuff and keep creating, and until they put me in a box. And then once I'm in a box in 6 feet underground, then
yeah,
people can package that up if they want to package it, if they want to label it, if they want to call it something.
Will people be able to buy the whole thing as a collection, or they're going to have to purchase each song individually, or have you not gotten to that thought yet?
Well, so the way I'm releasing songs through a couple different channels. So I'm releasing back catalog stuff on the DSPs, and then I have new music that I'm releasing through my app, which may or may not at some point end up at a later date on DSPs. I haven't decided that yet. And then people will be able to experience the music in a lot of different ways. Some ways that cost money, some ways that are just interactive and ways for them to engage. So I'm letting the people, if people genuinely like the music and want to engage with it, I'm giving them many different ways to experience it, because I don't want anybody to be eliminated from it if they enjoy it. Like, I want it to be available to anybody, whether it's somebody in that has zero money, but they really love it. I still want them to experience it. Like, I made it in life. I'm not talking about music, although I feel like I'm making it there too. But in life, I made it this far. I live the daily just like everybody else. Sometimes my daily involves sushi. Most days it just involves oatmeal. But I'm still alive and I'm here. So as long as I can sustain myself and get through the day, I don't really give a fuck about music business. Let people decide if they want to support it, and if they like it, and if they don't, maybe I'll work a little harder. I don't know.
Yeah. So, well, I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but how do you expect the people to get the music, to even hear it in the first place, to even have an opinion if they like it or they don't?
Well, so what I hope is that if one person is exposed to something I make and it touches them, they will tell somebody else about it. And then that person might tell somebody. And if nobody shares it, then that's on me. Then maybe I didn't create anything worth people
sharing,
experiencing. Yeah. So that's on me as an artist. And I really want to touch people, So I hope I do. But if I don't, that's on me.
Minton has a question. He says, do you think listeners will just label or package it anyway because they hear phrases of your work?
I love that. And that's what I love. That's what I want, because that's what I think. If people like it and resonate with it, let them package it the way they want to experience it. Like, why should I package it for them? Like, I want them to experience it the way they want. I create it the way it's real to me, and they should experience, not that they should, but I want to create what's real to me. And if anybody enjoys it or wants to experience it, I want them to experience it in the way that's right for them.
Are you okay? So what is it that what did you do with this company that's out in Los Angeles? And are they a record label? Is it a management company? What is it? And how are they working with you?
Well, I feel kind of weird talking about that stuff and like label stuff and everything, but I don't know. I think I'm gonna wait till I launch till I talk about the label, but they're really cool people. I did some work, with the gentleman that owns the label a few years ago. He covered one of my songs. He hit me up. He started a label. They have they have really good distribution, which is funny because I was just talking about what does distribution even mean these days. But but aside from all that, I fuck with this dude. Like, he called me up, and I didn't even, of course I did read through contracts and we mended some things and everything, but I didn't even need to read the contract because that's just, I go from the gut. Like, as soon as this dude called me, I'm like, this dude, if this dude is down with working with me, sign me up, because that's just the way I like to go through life. I like to interact with people that I feel are genuine and the people that believe in me. And so, I mean, that's pretty much that. So they have some cool things that they're working on, and I believe in them. And I want to be
you
as much
sound
of a
excited.
value to them
Yeah, go
as
ahead.
they are to me, you know? It's
Yeah.
got to be symbiotic. Like, it ain't about, oh, the label's fucking me. It's like, hey, if somebody's a label or anybody else, if you have a relationship with somebody, business or personal, you know, it's about having a symbiotic relationship. So I'm not like, what's the label going to do for me? I'm thinking, what can I do to put them on? And then if all is well and symbiotic, they're thinking the same thing for me. Like, what can I do to help Cookie out? Right. So anytime I'm doing anything that has to do with them and my arrangement with them, I'm thinking about what can I do to make them look good. I'm not thinking about what they can do for me. If something happens and it looks like it's lopsided at any point, we'll both probably, all parties will probably talk about it. But you know, that's just the way I like to you know, go through life and relationships.
That's what's up. I think that's actually a good approach. You know, you're taking a different approach. That's not the norm that musicians would go down if they're looking to do something like what you're doing, which is release music and work with a label or a company. Yeah, so on and so forth. Hang on one second. Our guest is texting
Cool.
me.
Induce is here. Thank God. I'm sick of talking about myself. And let me tell you something else about myself. So,
hold on one second. So yeah, just trying to get Induce here. There was a little bit of miscommunication on his part. Thought the time was 2 p.m. his time. He's on the West Coast, so I just messaged him. I did tell him to come on at 2:30, and then he must have messaged back saying to let him know when we were ready for him. But I think I just had put it there 2:30, so just a little bit of miscommunication, no problem. But anyway, look, I think that this is good. You know, now. Was there any thought from you that where you wanted to do your own label, like not go with anybody, but you wanted to do your own, get your own distribution and your own thing? Did that ever cross your mind?
it's always I always work that way. That's the way I work. I work like I got to do it all myself. But the way I feel, it makes me feel good when somebody on the outside says, you know what you're doing, I want to be a part of it. So that makes me feel even better. So I like doing things and working and learning all the different things. And there's a lot of things that I'm very green on, even as much as long as I've been around, that I don't understand. So obviously help for those things is excellent. And but the biggest part about it is just having other people to believe in you. You know, when I was a kid and you had to pay all this money to record in a recording studio before all this technology allowed us to do it, I never could record in a real studio because I never really had people that believed my music was never in the box in a way where people wanted to jump on board and get behind me. And I never had funding to go in the studio. You know, back in those days, you know, you would need like 10, 20 grand to like go into a studio. And I didn't have that kind of bread, you know? So I'd record, you know, like we all did, a little cassette recorder or something, a little microphone. But anyway, so back then I felt it, because when you're younger and you don't feel as confident in yourself and you feel like, oh, my friend's getting a deal here, they're paying for them to go into this studio, my friend's down here, and then me, I'd be here writing my songs. So I would feel a certain way, but I'd be like, man, maybe I'm not good enough, or maybe or you know, I wasn't mature enough to understand that you know, you don't always have those opportunities, and it might not be because you're lacking, it might just be because it's not the right time and the right place for things such as the music business or the market. And when you're spending money, you do have to think about the market and the business. One of the greatest things about technology right now, I don't look at it as streaming platforms are taking artists' money. I look at it as anybody can record their idea, their music very cost effectively, like ridiculously cost effectively, and make it sound good enough. Even if they're not a great engineer or anything, they can make it sound good enough to where they can get their idea across to somebody else and possibly touch that other person. So, you know, we're in a great time. It's a great time to be alive.
I like it. Do you still think that people shop demos? You still think that's a thing? Just off topic of kind of what we're talking about, but like it just crossed my mind, like, you know, when you mentioned, like, you know, having to go back into going into a real recording studio and blah blah blah. Do you think people shop their demos like today?
I wouldn't think so, because I would think that people would use the resources of the internet, like social media and stuff. Like if somebody has a song and there's a clip of it, or some performances that are available on social media, and that artist is creating a buzz, if they aren't shopping it as far as like a label or even like a sync type of deal or something, I think the access is already there. But there are, you know, like some people when they're shopping tunes to sync and stuff. I know I had a subscription. There's like different models to share your music, like basically like SoundCloud type models, but industry, like disco is one of them. Like, you know, it's like basically like this professional tier service where you can have all your songs nice and neat and organized, and you can say, hey, there's a show on Netflix looking for this type of tune. Oh, I got that type of tune. And you can contact their music supervisor and you can throw it out there, and they have a very professional way of seeing it. So there's shopping stuff that way. But I think social media is a game changer, because even if you have zero reach, and I'm somebody that has very limited reach, you know, you can still connect with people.
Yeah.
And a lot easier than driving. Like, you know, I've driven 4 hours to shows that have had 13 people at them, you know? So I mean, there's something there's something there, you know. On social media, somebody complains that they have only 13 people liked my post or commented on or anything, but those 13 people were a lot easier to get to than driving 4 hours, you know. So
yeah, you mentioned disco. Speaking of disco, I want to bring our special guest up. He loves disco. I mean, he's a lover of all music, and his latest release that we're going to get into with him, you know, talk to him about, has that like disco-ish vibe. It's got a few different vibes there, like 80s disco, dance, like just good vibe music to me, you know. So I want to bring Induce back up on the stage with us. Welcome back to the show, Induce. How are you doing? Are you there with us?
Yo.
All right. We got you on.
Yeah.
We got you on the mic only today. He having a bad hair day.
Mic only ever.
Mic only ever. That should be the name of your new album, Mic Only Ever. I'll tell you what, we'll all do it. So that way you kind of just don't feel left out.
Oh, I don't feel left out.
Oh, okay. Oh, here we are. We're all icons today. But you're the biggest icon on the stage with us today. What's it like being a great producer?
I don't know.
do you feel like this different aura about you, or is it like, do you feel like you're like an everyday guy?
Yeah, I feel like I'm the king of the world.
That's what I'm talking about, cuz. But no, let's get into it. I want to first of all, welcome back to the show. Welcome back to Jus Riffin. You know, we love talking to musicians. You're one of my old school friends, and just a great musician and great DJ all around, and super consistent, you know, for as long as I know you. Yeah, you haven't taken any breaks. You just keep it moving with music all in all. So thank you for your passion to music and for blessing us with some dope tracks. Let's talk about your new project that you have out, you know, where people can go listen to it. And yeah, let's just get right into it.
Yeah, I guess I've been putting out kind of disco edit packs, kind of EP single type of thing for the last year. The newest one is 3 tracks. It's like Italo disco. It's more remixes than edits.
Mm-hmm.
The first one I did was pretty much straight up edits, like disco edits.
It's really dope, man. I found myself, you know, continuously just going back to listen to it.
Nice.
I'm gonna put the site up, the Bandcamp, so people can go check it out. Whoops, I spelled that wrong. But go ahead, keep talking, Induce.
Yeah, so I call it's under Paradise edits, and so this is volume 2. These tracks, they're like Italo disco tracks that are too fast, maybe they don't have drums, like BPMs at like 140. So it was something that's really hard to play out. I mean, I don't even really even think you can play it out.
You mean when you say that, because there's people that are listening that might not know, but like, so when you say play out, you mean like DJing in the club, playing out, or performing it?
Yeah, playing. Yeah, I mean they're edits, so this particular thing is other people's music that I'm kind of remixing, or in an edit. Sometimes you just take out the cheesy parts of a song. But so like one of the tracks in particular is like 140 BPM, and even in an Italo set, you might get at like 133, like when you're in the kind of high end of Italo disco. So 140 and up is kind of like way too fast. So I kind of slowed it down. The drums were crazy low in the mix. I added new drums. I added a bass line. It's kind of like a full remix. The first set, they're both on Bandcamp. The first set is more just edits, where it's a dope song, but it has this like 2-minute piece of like the cheesiest thing you've ever heard. So I'll just cut that out and put the two pieces together. Sometimes it's a little more involved in that. There's one on there that, I kind of cut and paste all over the track and kind of almost created like a new track out of.
Now this is volume 2.
Yeah.
So there is a volume 1. What was the thought process? Like, what made you want to do remixes? What made you want to do edits and this type of format?
I mean, the edit game is like pretty popular. People are doing well at it. A lot of DJs like playing them. I just noticed, I had kind of noticed this, I mean, almost like, I don't know, like 10 years ago, that, releasing my own music without a full kind of team, without obviously a label, it's hard to get traction.
We were just talking about this.
Yeah,
Jason,
yeah.
Cookie and I, yeah.
And I noticed that like other producers I know, or DJs I knew, or just people I saw would do very well in the dance scene if they were putting out dance tracks, if they were doing edits. I mean, I have friends that put out edit packs. They do more like mashup type of thing. And then they do really well, and that's kind of how they've like built their fan base, and they're not even really putting out their own music. So I said, okay, I'm gonna give this a year at least and just start kind of pumping out edit packs and see how that goes. Just to have fun. At this point, it's just about having fun.
And it's been, yeah, I mean, you're continuously having fun. What's been the reaction from your fan base and from new fans?
So yeah, that's what's funny. I mean, volume 1, I mean, I put a lot of edits on volume 1. Five tracks is kind of a lot for an edit pack. I feel like most people do 2 or 3 tracks. So I think it kind of helped just right there, just for that. But I mean, I put out stuff on Bandcamp and not really had many supporters, a couple core like friends or fans. And then I put out this volume 1 of the edit pack, and it was kind of immediate. And Bandcamp, I guess, Bandcamp has homepages for hashtags. And so I guess the disco edit hashtag is like, if you type in disco edits in Bandcamp search, it'll bring you to kind of a homepage for disco edits. And I guess there's not many people doing, or at least tagging, disco edits. So I was getting people from the Bandcamp homepage supporting.
That's cool.
Yeah. A lot of sales came from that. And I was kind of joking with friends that I've made more money on this edit pack of someone else's music than I have on my own music in a long time, which isn't much, but
Are you
just to say.
yeah, let me ask you this. Are you going to release or have you already, is it on vinyl or is this strictly digital?
This is strictly digital.
Okay.
I have no plans, or I wouldn't say want, but uh, yeah, I don't plan to press a record on my own
Hmm.
because I'm not good at selling records. Um, I was maybe going to, after this second pack or maybe a third, send the link to a couple of the people who do press like edit records
Hmm.
and see if
Yeah,
they might be
is
interested.
there, with pressing music and stuff, it does that whole, the copyright laws and whatnot. And um do are pressing plants, I mean, is there any what's that confliction, between what you're doing and what the artists themselves like wanting music for you using a piece of their music, or how does that aspect work?
No, I mean it's a pretty underground. Uh, I don't know what you would say.
Let me ask you this: do the groups encourage it, like the people that you're redoing? Because I know, like on social media, they have all these, like, even on YouTube, you could remix, you can do all kinds of cool things to people's videos and to music and stuff on TikTok and yada yada. And that's because those artists obviously are embracing it. That they're allowing it. They want to encourage it and hear people what they're going to do to their music. But so have any of the artists reach out to you, or you reach out to any of the artists that you've used and gotten any feedback from
No,
them? No, not like that.
no.
All
No,
right.
I
Hey,
mean,
I just wanted to know,
it's
like,
it's
what I'm
we're
saying?
we're generally. I mean, it's kind of the same thing as like sampling, like making an album that's full of samples.
Copy
Like,
that.
and,
Yeah, yeah,
and if you're not selling 100,000 copies of a record,
yeah,
nobody's really coming after you
yeah. True to
because
that.
there's nothing there. I
There's nothing
mean,
there. I got you. I got you.
um, so this is kind of the same deal. I will say that there are certain DJs or producers who have differing opinions on how to credit your edits or
Mhm.
remixes.
And
So,
how would that be? Like, you're an artist. What if somebody were to use your music to do that?
I mean, I definitely thought about this, and it depends on the situation. I think, you know, I
Let's
think,
create a situation.
I think for me personally, if somebody took something of mine, I would prefer to go about it as like, yo, you use this thing, let's work. And that's the first thing. Like, yo, let's work on something new. Let's work on
Hmm.
something together. Like,
Oh, I like
let's
that
do
approach
one on
too.
our own.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Hey, I want to, Cookie, where you at? You here?
Yeah, I'm here.
All
I
right,
got
go
it.
ahead, Cookie. I wanted to bring you up because I'm always asking questions and stuff, and I know you have sampled in the past too, and used done stuff. I don't know if you've remixed, but what's your perspective on this, on his new project here? I'm curious what your thoughts are.
Well, I love what Induce just said. Like, I think that's just such a great way to look at it. Like, hey, like, okay, we did this. Like, now what can we do if we're actually in the same room? Maybe metaphorically in the same room, but you know what I'm saying. If we work on something together, I think that's a killer approach. I you know what? I never really thought of it that way, but after hearing his approach, I think I'll copy what he said.
Hey, there you go. That's right.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like the best way to kind of get around a weird situation. Okay, it's obvious that you dig my shit, so let's do some shit. You know,
Let's
Yeah.
make something happen. Yeah.
especially when we're both, if it's a current artist and I'm still making music, it's somewhat different. If I sample, I don't know, whatever, the Ohio Players, like those dudes are 80 years old or dead. So
Yeah. Yeah.
there's not much you can do in that sense. I mean, I think that's why guys, that's why James Brown, that's why Roy Ayers, that's why David Axelrod have
Bob
become the
James.
legends that Bob James have become the legends that they are, is because they were like, go at it, like sample me all you want, I'll clear
Right.
everything, you know.
Yeah. Let's go back to that. Let's go back to that sampling real quick, because you make hip hop as well, and hip hop is like a major form of sampling itself. Going back, do you where did you think the whole sampling aspect was going to go? Like, where did you think it was going to ride to? Because it's still going now.
Yeah, it's interesting, because for a while there in the late 90s into the early 2000s, labels stopped clearing samples, didn't want to clear samples, and then we kind of went into the Swiss Beats, into Little John era, where it was all keyboard stuff, and they didn't, nobody worried about clearing samples, and it felt like sample-based hip-hop was somewhat dead. But then, you'd hear little things here and there, or they do interpolations or replays. But then it seems like, I'd say mid 2010s, it started coming back. And I think Griselda kind of helped that.
Okay.
In a big way. And a lot of the underground hip hop kind of helped that, which is like, heavy sample bass, like pretty much loops.
Yeah.
So
J6,
I think it's full back. I think it's fully back now.
You do?
Yeah. It's just become like, we've gotten so far from the like, well, this is the new sound, this is the old sound, oh, that shit sounds old, we got to do new. I think now we're in an era where everything goes. Anything goes.
It's got to that point, right, where it's like, well, what damage, do your worst, right? What's gonna happen? Cookie, where are you at?
With based on just like sampling and where that type of stuff?
Yeah, like you make music. What if people sampled your shit and made something from it?
It's funny. Schoolie just actually put out a single, and he sampled one of my hooks in it, and he didn't approach it like he didn't ask me or nothing. He was like, "Yo, what do you think of my new track?"
Yeah.
And my whole hook was his hook.
That's funny.
And I was like, and I thought it was cool, and I'm used to working with Schoolie. No shade, Schoolie, you're not here, but I know he ain't gonna pay me properly on it. So I'm cool with it because he's my boy.
In Blues, he's talking about Schoolie D, MC Schoolie D.
Oh wow.
Yeah, these guys are good friends. But back when we had Schoolie on the show, he actually said that. He's like, that's what hip hop is. Sampling. It's what it is. We have a clip of him, videogram of him saying that. But
that's right. And I loved his take on that, because I'm not originally from the hip hop culture, but I love it, and I embraced little parts of my time with it. And when he said it, just the way he put it on that show, it was just so like, it just made it he put it in such a way that was just easy to digest. Like, that's what we do,
Like, he's a true legend in hip hop and just in music. And to hear his perspective on that too, because we all come from that era of sampling. That's hip hop culture. That's what it is. That's what hip hop was based on, sampling. I mean, before there was drum machines, they were sampling, but they were going record to record, backspinning and in time, on the counts to make sure that it was in time and it was on beat. But fuck.
Yeah, I mean, coming from where I come from with music, I just think, like, when I first got introduced to hip hop I was just blown away by it, but like that whole process of watching these producers work that way, and DJs as well, like even DJs that were in different genres of music, but the DJs that like evolved and incorporated producing as well as just DJing, like, at a party. I think it's so cool, like the way they would grab these samples, and it wouldn't always be like a perfect loop, or it wouldn't always be in the right, quote unquote, right key. And it opened my ears to like, wow, like this shit is cool. Like everything doesn't have to be in the quote unquote right key, or it doesn't have to be in the perfect time lock on the grid. It can be a little off, a little weird. And that weird sound that's a little not in key with the song, it gives it its cool factor, you know?
Yeah.
They control that sample so much, or at least back then they could, you know?
Yeah. There was a project that Induce was actually a part of back in the day called Casual Sax, and they sampled, I forget what song, but it was Baby I'm Black. What a great, you could talk about it, Induce, because it was pretty, you guys were pretty comical, even with the Hans and Franz. I forget what the I know I'm fucking them up, but the two you guys played, you and Sven, they played these Sven was the other guy in Casual Sax. They played these two German guys, and it was just hilarious. Klaus, yeah, Klaus. Oh God, these guys, dude, this was the funniest shit. The bloopers were just, these guys were dying, and Sven is hilarious. Induce
the bloopers video still gets
views.
Well, it's the behind the scenes video.
Yeah, I go back and watch that shit all the time
on a regular.
These guys, J6, you got to watch this video that they did. Oh, you did
back a while ago, dude. It's fucking hilarious, man.
Dude, Klaus, this guy's like Sven playing golf on the airplane, like just, and fucking Induce could not hold it together. Just so you see, Induce is dying the whole fucking video, and Klaus is. I mean, I don't know who was Klaus, and what were the characters? Induce.
Sven is Klaus,
and you were
my character is Ulrich.
Yeah, dude, I was just dying. Okay, so from what I know, because I was at, I forget what it might have been during Winter Music Conference, right? And these guys were filming the video for Klaus House. Klaus's
disco train. But
okay, Klaus's disco train.
The hook goes Klaus's house.
Yeah, Klaus's house is in the song. Okay. These guys were wearing these like Euro style jump outfits, but is this true that you guys didn't shower the whole weekend, and you because you wanted to get the real effect of a Euro? Like, first of all, tell us that story, and then tell us about the sample that you used for Baby I'm Black, and what that process was, because I thought this was really genius of you guys.
Well, the first thing you asked, Sven may not have showered because for that reason.
How many days was it?
I think it was mainly we never washed those suits.
Oh, okay.
And the whole thing with the suits was that we would carry around bottles of Bod body spray and spray each other with it and spray other people with it.
Oh, you guys were tripping.
And so the suits for definitely stunk, but mostly of Bod body spray.
Too funny.
And Bod odor, natural Bod odor. But yeah, we definitely were in character, full character, method acting, never out of character for most of Winter Music Conference. Yeah, that was definitely a fun time.
That was also fun. And we had Havana Joe on the show. I think I remember Joe being there too. We were at the Fountain Blue. Yeah, he was around. We were at the Fountain Blue. This was the fucking craziest, funniest shit. I don't even think I was expecting what I saw from you guys there. Induce had shaved his head with a buzz cut to look like a real European. And it just was just too funny, man. I don't know. I just wasn't expecting it. And I thought these guys are hilarious. I knew Induce already for a long time. I think around that time I just met Sven, but you guys were awesome. This whole project, Casual Sax, was so good. Now I want to get into the sample, because we were talking about sampling earlier, and just wanted to go back to this sample. Was really genius how you used it, and it works so good with the beat and what you guys were talking about. Give us a little inside scoop. I want to just go back in history a little bit on that.
I mean, if we go all the way back, I listened to Weird Al as a kid. I mean, basically the album was kind of a parody joke rap album.
Yeah.
So I listened to so much Weird Al as a kid. and my mind just automatically turns songs into Weird Al songs. And so, you know, listening to a song, I don't know, we heard it on the radio or something. I don't remember how we found I think it's Baby Come Back.
Yeah.
Is it
Baby Come Back?
Ambrosia or no, Player? It's Player, Baby Come Back. And just like I said, my mind just automatically goes with what rhymes with what they're saying. And so, you know, we came up with that hook. I looped up
What was the hook? Tell everybody the hook, because everyone knows Baby I'm Back.
Yeah.
No,
it's Baby I'm Black from the waist down.
Yeah, dude, the way they did this Cookie is hilarious, bro.
I love it.
Yeah,
and
like
you guys did a bunch of songs, right?
Yeah, I mean, we did a whole album. It's all kind of funny, jokey stuff. I mean, the funny thing was when we put it out, we were like, girls are never going to talk to us again because it's so offensive, you know?
Yeah.
And like, and mostly just because it was like songs about sex and butts and, you know, doing stupid stuff and eating junk food and stuff like that. And we're like, this is the opposite of what girls want to hear. And the funny thing was, girls fucking love that song.
They loved it. Yeah.
They loved it.
Because dude, girls love to laugh, man. You know, that's the key. If you can make the girls laugh, you're good. I want to see if I can share this real quick with everybody. Can you guys see that? You can see. Oh, I haven't put it on stage yet. Sorry, guys. You guys can see that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna just play a little bit of this for everybody. This is Baby I'm Black, and they sampled Player, Baby I'm Back.
Baby Come Back.
Baby Come Back, my bad.
I talk a lot of things, I seen a lot of stuff, but what I wanna do is finger bang your fucking muff. I wanna take my finger out and put it in your mouth. I get you so wet you flood the goddamn house. You think I'm talking dirty, but when you start to jerk me, all I do is make sure that you ain't got the herpes. But it's okay, babe, you know I got them too. I get you so excited that control your poop.
Girl, I got this big old boner, and I know you are a groaner, and your mama's name is Mona. She can get down if she wanna. We can watch some movie, eat some popcorn. Girl, I got pone in a bag in the backseat of my dot zone. Girl, I don't care if you wanna pull your hair. I'm a freak in the sheets, even eat your underwear. I wanna squirt up in that skirt, got the thing that you can jerk. Girl, I'm down with 8 shades if you wanna.
I got a handlebar mustache, promise not to bust fast. If I ride it from behind, my balls are gonna touch ass. Please don't be no snooty hoe, I'll pee up in your booty hole. Assassinating asses is kinda like my duty, yo. Your roommate is a cutie, yo. Met her at the studio, fed her plenty roofies and kicked her in the cootie hole. You don't know where the hell I've been, all full of melanin. Hacky second with my wiener, go ahead and tell a friend.
So good. All right, man. Too good. Comedy Factor. We lost J6. I just messaged him because we going over the show. Usually we end the show. We do the show from 2 to 3 Induce. But we had a little bit of a communication breakdown. So it's all good. I'm here now with you. But yeah, this was a great, awesome concept. And you guys did some cool stuff. He said that his computer got offline. He's trying to jump back on with his phone. Okay.
I think he was offended too.
Yeah, he got offended. He was like, I'm out. But yo, that was really like classic. And everybody that's watching, first of all, thank you for tuning in. This is Jus Riffin. We do it every Tuesday at 2 p.m. We're running over today time wise, but it's no problem. We got Induce with us. So thank you for sticking around with us and hanging out. Go check out Casual Sax and the Sexual tell it everybody, Induce.
Sexual Revolution.
The Sexual Revolution.
Is like 20 years old at this
That's
point.
okay. That's okay because I still want people to go see it. So please go check out the videos. Go check it out for yourself. Have a good laugh. Listen to what's going on. It's really creative from these guys. And yeah, it's still 20 years old, but the music, everything still holds up, bro. Even horrorcore, bro. horror correlates.
Yeah.
Ah, dude, come on, that was so much fun.
Bet.
Dude, and we ended up doing a track too. I don't want to get into that, but that was kind of fun too. Was that for the Casual Sax experience?
Yes, that was supposed to be for like a
Part
second
two?
Casual Sax record.
The second coming, no pun
That
intended.
never. I think that's the only song that ever got done for the second Casual Sax record.
Just too funny. That was good times, man. That was definitely fun. All right, so I want to get back to your because we we went a little bit to different places, but I want to get back to your to what's going on with this project. Are you going to create an eventually like a full length album? And this is also something subjective too, because we were talking about this earlier. Like Cookie's doing not an album, so to speak. He's doing singles, like songs that eventually will be part of the album. He's not putting a cap on how many songs. He's just doing song, and they're all going to be part of it. Okay, he's asking for the link. Let me send him a link to get back to the show, because I think he has to do it from his phone, something with his computer. So let me get him this link real quick.
He needs a link.
Link to the StreamYard, yeah, so he can jump back in here with us.
I will say, for now, the thing is just to do these kind of EPs or packs. My goal, like the way I kind of set it up was, I'm gonna do an edit pack and then a single of originals, and specifically kind of house, dance / maybe disco-y stuff, but mainly house. So that's why there was the Paradise Edits Volume 1, and then I put out the Calm EP, and the Calm EP is 2 originals. Like ambient house, spacey disco house type of stuff. And then I just put out the Paradise Edits Volume 2. And so the idea is that I put out another little single of originals, and I just kind of wanted to keep doing singles.
Okay.
I didn't end up doing as many as I wanted in the year. But hey, I mean, 3 in the year is pretty cool.
What would stop you?
Well, this year, partly because I kind of went off plan, and I went and made a whole vaporwave album like right in the middle of it. And so I have a full vaporwave album that's done, ready to go. That
what's on that album? What's vaporwave? Pardon me, because I don't know.
No, it's all good. We might have talked about it in the last one, because I put out the iOmega.
It sounds familiar.
Record.
Yeah, it sounds familiar, but please tell me and remind us.
So I put out one vaporwave record called iOmega Dreams at the very end of 2023, like literally the last day of the year. So this is basically like a continuation of that.
I'm not gonna lie. I think vaporwave sounds like something that is going to drain your digital wallet.
I was thinking the same thing. Because they call it like vaporware, like a company getting $20 million seed money, but they really didn't make anything.
So Induce, Induce is behind all this. Okay, keep going. This is interesting.
No, so vaporwave is almost more of an aesthetic than, I mean, it started out as a genre, just a silly name somebody came up with for this genre, and it became a full aesthetic of the music and the look kind of combined. Now it's somewhat died off, but there's still kind of a core vaporwave audience. And what vaporwave did originally was take these records from the 80s, these cheesy, new age records or smooth jazz records that nobody wanted to touch as far as sampling.
Oh yeah.
And take those records and loop those up, or like soft rock, stuff like that.
Give me an example of a song. You're talking like Kenny G, soft jazz, like Ambrosia.
I mean some of it, let's say some of it's just more obscure.
Okay.
it's some of it's like really like smooth jazz artists you've never heard of. I think maybe like George Howard or something like that from like 1986.
Oh,
Like
George
records,
Howard, bro. Never heard of him. Never heard of
like
him.
records nobody is touching. Like from
Yeah.
mid 80s to 86 to 89, and just like slowing them down so far that it's somewhat unrecognizable. Part of the vaporwave aesthetic is to take this song and slow it down insanely, and so it kind of sounds, it's almost like chopped and screwed
Okay.
in a way. It's kind of like the white nerdy version of chopped and screwed.
And how
sure.
how popular is it, or is it not?
There's I mean, there's a couple records that are quintessential vaporwave records and they've been bootlegged crazy. I mean, you can pretty much only get them as a bootleg because it's all straight rips, straight jacks, like loops,
Jacking for beats.
That record, if I have it, if I get a couple copies, they'll pretty much sell immediately.
Wow.
Like,
okay.
if you see it, you know what it is, you're kind of like, oh, I need that.
Buy it.
It's called Macintosh Plus. The artist.
Oh, you just gave it away. Now you're gonna miss out. You're gonna lose profits. Now all the audience members are gonna go buy it and resell.
No. I'm saying the vaporwave artist name is Macintosh Plus.
Oh, gotcha.
And not what they sampled, but the artist name, and they're kind of considered like one of, if not the first vaporwave record. It's called Floral Shop Macintosh Plus. That's kind of quintessential vaporwave.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I've been doing, is like I have a batch of records that are ready to go, ready to sample, that I write a little note on that says vaporize. And
now what's your process? How are you vaporizing these tracks? What are you doing?
Well, nowadays I started using Ableton. I don't really use like an MPC anymore, especially for vaporwave stuff. I mean, I kind of want to get back on the SP and an MPC for maybe a hip hop project, maybe. But for vaporwave stuff, when the whole point is just to loop the shit up and slow it down, Ableton's the easiest thing to do that in. And I can just knock a beat out in, less than an hour.
Do you ever, how many, okay, so, there's, making music, it's important to take breaks when you're making a song. Now, are you the type of person that does this? Take breaks in the middle of the song? Like, let's say you're working on a song today. Is your goal to finish that song by the end of the day? And do you take breaks in between, like when you feel like your brain is like to the max of thought? Do you take a break and go do something else and then come back to it? But do you finish that song in a day, or does it take you multiple days to finish a track? And or can you finish a track in one day and then you take sometimes multiple days to finish other tracks?
Yeah, it depends. It depends on what kind of song it is. If I'm making an R&B track that I'm producing it and writing the lyrics and singing it, then yeah, I mean, that could take months, that could take years.
For one song?
Yeah. I had a song.
Why would it take you a year though? Like, that seems like very overly, aggressive. Unaggressive, to get a song done.
If something's not working and you can't figure it out, like
I
had a song where
you're a holder.
I'm definitely somewhat of a holder, and that's what doing these edit packs and doing the little singles is what I'm trying to get myself out of, is not to hold on to stuff anymore. And
you want to be like more
throw
free.
Shit out. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, like, my problem, I don't know if it's so much that I'm a holder, it's that when I start a project, I have a whole concept and I have to, my mind won't let me finish, won't let me let it go until the whole concept is done. Right. So like I had an album that took 10 years to finish. And it was because, I had to have the videos. I had to make the videos for 6 of the songs on the album. And the album was fucking sitting there for years on end because I couldn't get anyone to help me do the videos.
Was it
and then I had to edit the
money?
videos, and I did everything myself. You know?
Was it because you were doing everything yourself? Like,
it's because I do everything myself.
Yeah. Now, do you think that's like a gift and a curse? Like, what's your? Well, what'd you learn from that? What'd you learn from?
I learned to never do it again.
And did you?
No.
Okay, so all right.
But that's the thing. So with the vaporwave record that I have right now, that's sitting.
Yeah.
That doesn't. It's only sitting because it doesn't fit into what I'm doing right now with like the singles,
Gotcha.
with the EP type of thing. But like,
and you wouldn't release it under another name, right? Just to get it out there.
I could, but
okay. I just threw it out there. I was just just talking smack.
No. But say for example, I had a song that I had a vision just for that song, right? What I wanted it to be, what I thought it could be, and it wasn't there. And I got really stuck. Usually I kind of know exactly what I want to do with a song. I know where to go. I know how to make the vocals sound right. And when I get that feeling, I'm done, right? This song, I couldn't get there. I was stuck. I didn't know what to do. I started working on other shit. Before long, it's 8 months and the song still isn't done. And so that's where at some point I'll come back to it. Like what you were asking, like sometimes you just come back to it and it clicks. And this one day I just heard this other song, and it was kind of always in mind, this other song that I was kind of trying to make something somewhat similar. And I heard that song and it kind of gave me a couple ideas, and then I went in, and within the next day the song was done. So it's stuff like that where you just might get stuck and you have to put it away for a while, and then a few months later you have a new idea that you weren't thinking of right then and there.
Do you ever like never finish a song?
Never.
Like start a song, start a concept idea, whatever, and just trash it, in the sense like just it's not working. You've come back to it several times and you just can't figure out why it's not working,
I would say I'm sure it's happened, but I can't think of any songs that I've done where they're sitting on my computer, but they're amazing. But they're not done. It's like I feel like the ones that don't get done where it's not working for a reason, because either the original idea isn't good enough, or something that the foundation is built on isn't strong enough. So yeah, I might have some songs that aren't done, but they're not done because they're not good enough.
Yeah. Now I know all songs, the approach to. Go ahead.
Sorry. But the song I was mentioning that I had that I couldn't figure out, I knew that song was good enough. And that's why it took so long. Because I knew, I was like, this song I need
it was
to
worth that extra effort. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's songs that like, they'll take a while. I mean, so me and our friend Jack Splash, we have a project that we did. And there's definitely songs that I had to figure out how to make it right, and it was a challenge. Like he's kind of like he's really good at what he does, and he would throw me things that say the beat wasn't great, but I knew that it was just an exercise in trying to write the best song to that beat.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would finish the exercise just as like practice, you know, as something to make you better. So there's definitely songs where I knew like, yo, this beat kind of sucks or whatever. I'm not personally into this beat, but I'm gonna write the best song I can.
Sure. Yeah, because everyone's perspective is different. You might not really like it, but then that's that song that everybody loves, you know? It's I totally think it's different, you know, for the listener and then also for the musician, because as the musician, you're hearing the song over and over and over again. Cookie, you could jump in here too, please. You know, when you guys are making songs and music, and you're just going through. I know this used to happen to me, you know, back in the day when we were making music. I just didn't want to hear the song anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no, I can totally relate to that. It's like everything that you've been saying, Induce, like when you're like you work on a song and sometimes you bang it out real quick, but then sometimes you just you come back a different day and it hits you different and you can finish it or gets more right the way you envisioned it. And the wild thing is like you said 10 years, I can totally relate to that too because but sometimes you don't even realize it. Like sometimes I'll be like, oh, I got this new song and I'll open it up in Ableton or whatever, and then I'll finish it. And in my mind, I'll be like, oh, I got this new song. And then I'll remember, oh my God, I started working on this like 13 months ago.
Hmm.
But it doesn't, the time is like, it's almost like the time when you're working on it because it's still kind of new because it's unfinished. But then you realize, oh my God, this has actually been a project file that I've been working on for like months and months and months. And the time just slips by. But yeah, I can relate totally. Good. That's my 2 cents. Sorry.
Did we lose Mike?
Hello. Oh, sorry. You there?
I
Oh,
think
I think we
we
did.
lost Mike.
We've both been having internet connections issues today, man. It's crazy, but yeah, man. I mean, this while we're waiting for him to come back, so this you said you have like a new wave album in the can now, and then you have this disco record. Is this out now, or are you putting it out soon?
The disco is like the edits, or the newest one, Paradise edits Volume 2. That's like Italo disco. It's pretty much remixes. Like the versions are very different from the originals. And then the vaporwave record is just sitting for a second. I might put it out early 26. We'll see.
Let me ask you something because it was really interesting what you were telling me too about like you had the album in the can, but you had no like video assets for it, and it's hard to do that stuff. And since me and Hef do talk about this stuff, sometimes we talk it to death. But I'm interested. Have you ever explored any of like the new tech stuff, like using some like like AI tools to create video assets and stuff like that?
No, not video. When I did the last vaporwave record, me and my buddy used like the early mid journey AI to do the cover of it. And I mean that's why the cover looks so bizarre. And I think we were actually talking about, me and my buddy that helped put the record out. We were talking about for this new vaporwave record of doing the same kind of look or just like keeping it somewhat similar using the AI just for the cover. But I haven't used it for video. I mean, I generally like don't have any of those programs. Like my buddy kind of did it. I'm not necessarily against it because I think it looks weird enough where it's interesting. But I don't know. It's just like for me to do it personally. I don't know if I would, just because I don't know. I usually have like something very specific in mind, and like I'll just have my friend who is a designer do it.
Cool. Yeah. I was just curious because it just reminded me of something because when you were saying that the videos for that one project, and I've never really messed with it myself, but I know a friend, a local friend of mine, just put out an album, and everybody was talking about the video. He did a video for it, and supposedly it was all done with AI, but they were kind of freaked out because there was all these people in it, and they weren't real people. But I was just curious because it does speed up the workflow, I guess. But it's interesting. Hey, Hef, you back?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just I was checking something on the computer. I was letting you guys riff a little bit. But yeah, I'm back.
Because we're just riffing.
Just riffing. So all right. So look, we're let's wrap it up because we way overboard on time. But I want to know, Induce, first of all, thank you for coming on and hanging out with us. And what's next for you? Like, so what after this particular project, now that it's out and it's doing its thing, what's next in line for you, Induce?
Music wise?
Yeah. Yeah, it could be anything, music. If you're making a movie, going to become a director, I don't know, going to law school, I don't know, like what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, music wise, I have that, like I said, I have that Vaporwave record that's kind of sitting. I might put that out. I have a bunch of ideas for more edit packs that I want to get through. I think I'm going to do a Prince one because I have a ton of Prince demos that have never come out.
Wow.
So I think I'm going to do a Prince edit pack of a bunch of like demos that people might not know.
That would be pretty cool.
I have one kind of Prince remix done already, and then I have the idea for another. It's pretty dope. And then I have another idea for kind of mashup, like slow disco with like hip hop acapella mashup type of edit stuff that I might do as well. I'm just like having fun.
Yeah, yeah. I get that 100%. That's I mean, that's the way to do it, is have fun and just have fun while you're doing it, like what's the sense in just trying to force it, or doing it just strictly for the money. Now, what about hitting the road? Are you going on the road? You're going to be performing?
No.
Are you out DJing? Like, where can people find you besides the Bandcamp? I'll put the link up again. But where can people check you live?
Yeah, I mean, performing, no. DJing for sure, all the time.
Where are you DJing at? Where can people see you in Los Angeles?
Yeah, I DJ in LA and now a little bit in Joshua Tree area. In LA, Wednesdays I'm at the Spare Room at the Roosevelt Hotel. We do like an all vinyl thing.
It's my favorite spot.
I do once a month. I was just at 82 in the Arts District. It's like a barcade, like classic vintage arcade games. I play there once a month. I play at Soho House, like West Hollywood here and there.
That's your favorite place, I heard, West Hollywood.
Yeah. This weekend I'm playing in Joshua Tree at a spot called Mojave Gold. They have like a pretty incredible dance floor situation. It's kind of the biggest, coolest looking dance floor in like the Joshua Tree area. They just opened. And then I'm playing at the Ace Hotel in Palm Springs on Sunday.
Wow, you're busy, man. I like it, dude. I love hearing it. And then what about, you have a website? Is it induce.com or djinduce.com? What's your website?
No, I mean, I think the best thing is just the Bandcamp, Induce, or Instagram, Induce1.
Okay, like where are you going to have like your show, like where you're DJing listed? Where's the best place for them to find that information?
Instagram. Yeah.
Instagram. All right, so check out Induce. Give your Instagram out real quick.
Induce1.
Is it the number one?
Yeah.
Okay. So go check out Induce1 on Instagram. Induce, INDUCE, number one on Instagram. Make sure you go check out his Bandcamp so you can listen to some music, some of the different stuff that he's done throughout the years.
And then I'll see you on the markets trading some stocks, baby.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about, bro. And he'll see you on the markets trading stocks. He's definitely going to be making sure that all these stocks and crypto go back up. He is part of the reason why everything went down, because he liquidated everybody. He took all their money and supporting his album. we are supported by Rug Radio, by the way, and powered by Rug Radio. This is Jus Riffin. Induce, thank you again, man, for doing this with us and hanging out for the second time. It's always a pleasure chatting with you. And too bad, I'm sorry that I missed you when you were here in Miami last week. Just lazy Jew. And one thing leads to another. Yeah, and I'm old, I get tired. I go to sleep early. But I should be out in LA soon. And when I am out there, we'll go grab some lunch and we'll go kick it and whatnot. But thanks again for being on the show with us, man. Also, everybody, thank you. And then everybody, this is Jus Riffin. We do it every Tuesday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. I'm sorry, not 8:30 p.m. It's 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We used to do it at 8:30 p.m. We do it now in the afternoon, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Tuesday. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you again, everybody. Peace out.
Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Jus Riffin. Tuesday afternoon at 2 p.m. That's EST. Jus Riffin. Special guest and tech and talk. A musicology. Jus Riffin. Coming to you live at the same time here every week. Jus Riffin. Jump in the room. Let's chop it up. It really ain't that deep. Jus Riffin.